Hi, welcome to Growing Homemakers. My name is Sarah. So I'm in the plant shack tonight. It is 10 o'clock at night and everyone's in bed, so I figured I'd try and get some stuff planted, or potted up, I should say, tonight. I'm in here with my Theraflu because Jack got sick again, just a cold, but I got it. So I've been napping with him during the day and not getting anything done gardening wise. So I am working on it for probably an hour or two tonight. I am working on celery. Here, let me show you. So last year, our celery, the seeds are so small that I had like 7 celery in each tray. I used a tweezer this year to try and be a little more deliberate, so I didn't, that one's got a lot. So I didn't end up with as many in each cell. I have started potting them. I don't know that I've seen anyone start celery. I think most people just put it in the ground. Maybe put a comment in if you've ever started celery and how well it works. I know you can buy pelleted celery, but they don't have it in the variety that we like to use. We use the D'Alene celery from Baker's Creek. We really love it. And so that is what we have been using, and it does not come pelleted. But tonight I don't know if I'll finish it. This takes a little bit of time to do with the celery, like the tomatoes, the peppers, all this stuff up here. Those go pretty quick when I'm potting up. But this herbs and things like this tend to take me a little longer. This tray could take me a full 2 hours to do. And I am going to try and get it all done before I go home and get some sleep. And one other thing I wanted to say about the celery, what I do when I am potting up, I actually will, now these are pretty wet, but I will re-water all of these holes. So I take a spoon and kind of get in there. I'm not going to do it because I only have one hand right now, but get in there and scoop it out. And I like for my dirt to be all nice and wet and stuck together so it doesn't all kind of loosen up and fall apart as I go to put it in my larger pot. But I will do a little demonstration of that with probably not the celery, but something else when I have my stand with me to show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you how, I'm going to show you how I get the cells, like I said in the other video, or the other little clip before, how I get my seed starts out of these trays. These are just the cheap trays. They have very flimsy bottoms. I try and get as much use out of them year after year as I can. So I don't like to pop from the bottom because that kind of ruins them. So I use my spoon to do it. And I normally don't wear gloves when I'm in the garden or doing this type of stuff, but with the baby and me doing so much lately, I'm trying to keep my hands as clean as I can because I hate to be touching him with dirt and it kind of sticks in my hands, and no matter how much I wash, my nails still stay dirty and everything. But so we have, it's really garden soil or not potting soil, garden soil or raised bed soil that we currently have. So there are these large pieces in it. If they're not too large, I just kind of tuck them down in the side of the container or let them fall in the bottom. I don't worry too much about it unless they're like these huge things. Those I obviously pull out. They'll go in my compost bin to keep decomposing. So I just put a bunch of dirt in my pot. I fill it all the way to the top. And you're not supposed to compact your soil. You want it nice and airy for the roots. But I have found if I don't do what I'm about to do, I end up with, after a bunch of waterings, I end up with like the soil dropping down to this far, and I want it to this lip. So I do fill them and then tap the dirt down, which, yes, I know compresses it a bit, but at least it's not like really compact. It gets me to about the level I want, and then I lightly stick my finger in it to make my hole for my seed or my plant. And then while I'm doing that, I push up along the side. And I do it lightly, so I'm hopefully not compacting it too much, but it gives me that hole that I need to put my plant in. Now these came up pretty late, but I'm not going to leave them in this cell tray because that's a lot of wasted space under a light. So I'm going to plant what I can. This side is empty, so I have another cell tray that's got a few in it. I'll replace it, and that way I can put the light over them so that I don't want to waste these last plants. Ooh, like here, but it doesn't have its true leaves yet, so I don't want to transplant it yet. I don't know how well it'll do in the sun. But, so all I do, hopefully you can see this, is I take my spoon. See if I can get a good view here. I take my spoon and right along the outer edge, I just lightly push down. Now I watered all of these cells before I started this to try and keep my soil together. I'm trying to do this while I'm holding it so you can see. So let's hope. And I just lightly pull up, and I usually get everything. Now, every once in a while, there's a few roots still in the bottom that weren't attached well, or I don't worry about those quite too much. I don't seem to have an issue with my plants transplanting well. And that way I can just stick my spoon right in there without disturbing the plant. And then all that dirt I pushed up along the side, I just kind of put inward there and just lightly pat it down just a little bit so that when I do water this, I don't immediately get huge like holes in the soil. I found if my soil is too lightly put in there, I get these big holes in it. And then I end up having to put more dirt in it anyways. And that is how I transplant my plants. Now we sell at the farmer's market. So we also, I want them to look good for the farmer's market as well. So we use these 2.5 inch, I believe they're 2.5 inch by 3 inch plastic cups, or plastic 2.5 inch by 3 inch plastic pots. They are reusable if you keep them. We always do say to our people that buy from us, if they feel like returning them to us instead of throwing them in the garbage, we would appreciate that. That way they get recycled. I am testing the peat pots this year to see how those do and hold. If they hold well at the farmer's market, we might go to that. They're biodegradable. I know there's a lot of controversy around peat pots and how you destroy bogs to harvest the peat. We are looking for something that's biodegradable and maybe a little more eco-friendly, that's also cost-effective. But we really haven't found anything yet. I did find on one website they have these cow pots or fertile pots, which are made from like fir trees or cow manure. Those are a little more expensive, so I'm not sure, and I haven't used them. I don't know if they break down as easily as a peat pot does. And the only place I found to buy them, I have to buy them in cases of like 1,200. Hate to buy something that big and then them not work out for us. If you guys have ever used any of those, let me know how you like them, or if you found something that's biodegradable other than a peat pot that you like. Again, let me know. We're interested in trying all new things. So, but this is what I'm doing this afternoon. These are the Hungarian hot wax peppers I'm going to finish. And again, I just stick my spoon in, pull them out, set them in the cup that already has dirt in it. And then I just go through kind of and just the lightest little push, and then I am done. Now what these are, I think I said that, the Hungarian wax pepper. Now sometimes the dirt does fall apart. I get these little holes. I do try and push it back to the center if I need to fill with a little dirt just to get it stabilized. I do. But again, I'm trying to disturb the plant as little as possible. And my goal is to keep the dirt at this line in the pot. It could be a little higher than that, because over time watering these, the dirt will go down a little bit. But I find that if I do the tapping and give a little push, it barely drops below this line for us. Now I only have 4 of those right now. The last few we did not get great germination, and I got some struggling. But I'm going to leave those in there. As I said, I will find another tray. Right, so I do have this tray here that has yellow sweet peppers in it. And again, I had a little slow ones. I maybe planted them a little too deep, or maybe they were just slow to go. That actually looks like, I don't know if you can see it, that actually looks like basil. That may not even be a sweet pepper. But I have this one trying, and this one, this tiny little one here trying. I hate to get rid of them. They may not be strong enough to sell at the market, but we can always use them in our garden. So all I'll do, here, normally my trays are already separated because I don't tend to fill them full. I'm working on my kitchen table in the camper, so it's a lot harder to, I'm limited on space. So I always have a little knife on me in the garden in case I need it to do things, especially here. So I'll just move these trays into this one, pull my label off, not forget to do that because I've forgotten that before and I end up not knowing what they are, and we just plant them in the garden as surprise peppers or surprise tomatoes. But now I don't feel as bad keeping this under the light. It's still a little bare. Hopefully in the next few days these will get their true leaves on them and I can plant them in their pots. This was a pepper of some sort. You can see I actually had no I had no germination from these. You can see all the cells are still there. They were, I don't have it labeled now, but these were peppers from our garden. Yellow sweet peppers from the garden that we saved seeds on. That was a plant that we actually bought from the local big box store. in our town closest to us, we sold all of our peppers accidentally at the farmer's market last year, our sweet ones. And so my mom had gone and found like a yellow, a green, a red. I think we kept an orange one, so we did have that. But so we saved seeds from one of those plants that we bought. None of the seeds germinated. Was the pepper not ripe enough? Is it something they do to the plant? I know that there's this spray I've been hearing about that kind of the big companies that supply food and plants and stuff like that spray on their plants so that you actually... Got a hole in my glove? Gotta change it. You can't save seeds from it, or you can't like buy a sweet potato or a potato and get it to grow in your garden. That way you have to buy food. I don't know if that's why they do it, but it does. That is one of the effects of whatever this spray is. Makes it a lot harder for you to save seeds from the products. I know if you buy heirloom seeds that you should be able to save the seeds and then they will grow the next year. But even with heirloom, you have to worry about cross-pollinations on same species of plants. So if you have a bunch of sweet peppers and they're the same species, a yellow pepper that you save seeds from may not be a yellow pepper when you grow it the following year. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the plants can cross-pollinate. Same with spicy and sweet peppers. If you have peppers that are both spicy and sweet from the same species of pepper and you save sweet pepper seeds, the peppers may not be sweet peppers when you grow them the following year. So we're very conscious of that if we save seeds, and when we do save them and plant them, those only go in our garden because we only want to sell what we know is definitely going to be what we're selling. We would hate to sell a green pepper plant and someone get jalapenos and them not like spicy stuff, obviously. We have sold surprise peppers, and when we've had a bad year of labeling last year, I had a full tray of surprise peppers because they weren't properly labeled when we were transplanting them up in pots, and people bought them. We sold them for a deal, and if you liked spicy or sweet pepper, it was just, you got a really cheap plant, and it was going to be one or the other. We just weren't sure what it was. But anyways, I try and reuse all this dirt. I think my nose isn't working because we got that cold. I think this is cilantro. We had a mouse in here digging in my seed starts, and everything was dug up sometimes, and I think they may have been carrying seeds from one tray to the other. I will probably just pull this and plant it in my cilantro that I have outside. Just stick it right in there. I don't want it to go to waste. But I try and obviously reuse this dirt. So all these trays back here are empty, but they still have dirt in them. I will take that in my house and reuse it for the other trays I have to start. I haven't decided if it'd be a good idea. I know some people put their dirt in the oven to sterilize it when they do seed starts. I'm not sure. I have not yet done that for reusing the dirt, but I've noticed some things pop up, like that one I showed you that kind of looks like it could be basil. I've had some seeds pop up that obviously are not what I planted in those cells, and it's probably reused soil. So I haven't decided to sterilize all this dirt repeatedly. Is very time consuming. I haven't found the need quite yet this year, but I might next year find that I have to do it. We will see. But as of right now, this year, I'm not doing that. Now, I'm recording, but so I don't forget, I need to label these. We always have painter's tape laying around. That's one thing, pain in the butt about wearing gloves. So we always have painter's tape laying around. Actually, do I have... Oh. I try not to throw my tape away so I can use it for things if there's little pieces. So I actually have a little piece up here. I'll just stick it to the front there, right where the peppers are. Now, for the farmer's market, at some point, every pot will have a label in it. I haven't gotten to that point yet because it is very time consuming to we handwrite all of our labels. And this year we think we're probably going to have about 3,000 plants to sell. It's a lot of labels for Mom and I to write. So as of right now, all I do is if I fill a tray or almost fill a tray full, it just has that one item in it. Right there. We have not had to pull the water catching trays out of these yet. When we do that, we will have to make sure that the plants have at least one label on each side. When I only have a few of a plant, I'll plant 2 in it. Like this is the hot wax. This is the Italian pepperoncini. And I just make sure I have at minimum a full row empty in between them. These have a lot more than that. But that way I don't have one tray with just 4 plants in it. It's just a way for us to conserve some space. So this is kind of a recap from, or not a recap, but a follow-up to the video we posted today. We did not officially get rained out to do the hoop house, although it is too wet. We were not able to work on it. Our Mom and Dad weren't able to work on it. We did get a surprise thunderstorm in the middle of the night that then went and made it all wet again. So it's going to be another handful of days before we can get out there and do the hoop house. And today in the plant shack, really, I was gone all day, so everything was just getting acclimated outside. I have not had a chance to plant anything. So there will be a follow-up video with the hoop house being built, hopefully coming up within the next week. But so that is what is going on in our garden this week. Now I am going to hopefully today and tomorrow get those last seeds started that I need to get started. Hopefully you can hear me. It is windy out. Our Azure order came and I ordered 2 cases of juicing apples, 1 case of Fuji apples, and 1 case of lemons. So I also have to preserve those coming up before they go bad. We had the juicing apples are like a second pick, so they might have blemishes or little soft spots on them, so I have to get those done quickly also. So it's going to be a very busy next couple of days, but we are full swing garden time and trying to get that done along with everything else we have to get done in the houses as well. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. And we will see you next time. Bye.